Hi, Baron. Jake Epstein here, and congrats on winning the free analysis. I have Austin Riley on the left. We're going to use as an example. The first thing I want to look at is your rhythm and timing because it's really fast, and you're almost swinging and stepping at the same time. In fact, you are swinging and stepping at the same time. So if we look here at your rear elbow and we take a look here at your front foot, notice how your elbow is starting to drop and your hands are going to start to drop down and through while your foot's in the air. Okay, so this gives us really nothing to rotate around. Okay, if you were playing catch, you wouldn't bring your arm all the way forward until your front foot hit the ground. Otherwise, we'd lose a ton of power. So if I bring you to heel plant here, we can see really how far your upper body has come. I would say your chest is facing out here and your hips are facing here. So that's the opposite of what they need to be. We actually want the upper body behind the lower body in this position. If we look at Austin Riley, you can see, his belt's kind of facing there, but if we go perpendicular to his shoulder line, his chest is facing back here. This is very common, and it's likely because you're not moving until the ball comes out of the hand. And I watch a ton of games, I watch a ton of players at the amateur level, and I will tell you, players your age, probably 90% of them, boys and girls, will not move until the ball comes out of the hand. And then we have to rush everything. So now we're going to put a little timer on this guy, and we're going to see how long your stride takes. Okay, so most big leaguers are going to be in the 3/4 of a second range. Okay, 0.75 seconds. You lift your heel off the ground here, start the timer, and you land there about 1/3 of a second, somewhere between there and there. Okay, so we're half of where we need to be. Okay, maybe even a little less than that. And so what we need to work on is, in the academy, there's a ton of drills to kind of work on controlling your rhythm and controlling your stride. But essentially, just kind of talking it out here, we need to move earlier and slower. Okay, you need to find a way to move earlier. You need to find a way to move slower. That's going to get your lower body stable. It's going to allow you to sequence your body correctly, meaning your hands will stay back. You probably have a lot of check swings. If we're making up our mind to swing before our foot's on the ground, okay, or our hands are coming forward, we're going to get fooled on breaking pitches a lot. Okay, the nice part about getting where Austin Riley is here is if he gets his foot down and he gets fooled, he still has his hands back. If that's a slider, if it's a changeup, if it's a curveball, he still, even if his legs bleed forward, he still has a chance to get some barrel on it. But if we're in your position here where we land and our upper body's starting to come through, we're going to be in trouble. Okay, we're going to be fooled quite a bit. So that's your lower body. That's your rhythm and timing. We're just starting our upper body too soon. Now, getting to the mechanics of the swing, the second thing I want you to look at is your back knee. So as your back knee gets initiated here after front heel plant, I'm going to bring you to about the same position chest-wise and hands-wise as Riley. So you can see this is pretty good, buddy. This is better than most at your age, okay? Could it be better? Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that barrel a little bit higher in this position, but if the pitch is down, that's okay. But notice how straight your back leg is. Okay, if this leg doesn't sit and sink, it won't keep us behind the ball. Okay, and that's why we're going to see your head kind of drift forward through the swing at the end. Okay, you're doing a really good job trying to keep it back through the swing, and then at the very end it goes forward. So this is going to be so much easier for you once we get, again, we got to get your feet set a little bit earlier. We got to get moving earlier. But once we can get your feet set earlier, and then you can start to sink down in this right knee. Let's watch his right knee kind of sink down and in. Okay. Knees coming down really towards your front foot. That's a good cue. Okay. Your back knee goes towards your front foot. Okay. You can see we didn't have any sink there. Isolate that move. Again, in the academy, we have a lot of drills. And your instructor, if it's you or your dad or you have an instructor, you guys can work on that. That knee wants to move. You can see the knee coming down. It's just late. Okay, so that's a good sign is that knee will come down. We just got to get more weight back here. We got to sit down and back a little bit more. Now, in terms of your swing plane, I like it. I really do. I think your swing plane plays. I'm looking at your barrel, kind of the glow of the barrel kind of works like this. through the ball. It might come up a little bit at the end there, but that's not bad for your age. Remember, at your age, that ball, this is actually a pretty true trajectory. I don't know if we're hitting off a machine or somebody's throwing to you, but at your age, that's a good trajectory. Okay, that ball's probably dropping about 12 degrees, 10 or 12 degrees. And if you look at your barrel, you can see, you're still coming down back here, and then you probably plane out here, and then you're good to here. That's just a little bit too far out in front, okay? It's not bad, but it's too far out in front. So what we want to do is we want to move that back. Well, how do we move it back? You move it back with your body. You move it back by sitting down and back more with your legs, okay? If your body kind of drifts forward and is very upright and you're trying to hit balls at your front foot here, you're going to get tied up. And that's the reason why you're trying to hit everything out in front, because you're good out there, okay? So we can still hit it out in front of our front toes, but we just got to keep our body back a little bit more. Okay, you can see even here with Riley, if we watch his head, notice how his head pulls back a little bit, right? He's staying behind that ball, letting that barrel kind of eat out in front, right at his front toes. You're letting it eat just a little bit too far, all right? So work on those few things. Think about sitting down and back more. Number one, get that rhythm going slow and early, okay? Get it going early. Learn how to control it. Learn how to stride. One of the biggest things with young players is if they struggle a little bit with a stride, we take it away. No, trust your stride. If it's big, I really don't care. Learn how to master it at your age. We can always take it away when you get older, okay? But if we never try it when we're younger, it doesn't work, all right? So start moving a little bit earlier. Start controlling it. Get a little bit more weight on that back foot and knee as you start your swing, so it's not as straight here. See how straight that right leg is. See if we can get that thing to bend a little bit sooner. And then lastly, after we work on rhythm, slowing that down, after we work on sitting down a little bit more, now we're going to work on letting that ball travel just a little bit more.